If you walk into a stranger's house, a scratched dressing table, a heavy cast iron skillet, an old piano, or a scarred wooden walking stick, these might just look like forgotten items bound for a garage sale. But to their owners, these objects function as anchors to specific people and moments. The scratches and dents are the physical evidence of a story only they can tell. The problem we run into as writers is that simply stating an object is important fails to transfer that weight to a reader. The feeling stays locked away in the author's memory. The Emblem essay provides a framework to bridge the gap between your personal nostalgia and a reader's ability to actually see what you see. By mastering 3 specific writing pillars, you can move toward what scholar Bell Hooks calls a truth-telling groove, turning a mundane object into a personal emblem. The source materials for this process are available at kelli.ninja. Strong writing isn't about the object itself. It is the act of translating an isolated experience into something a stranger can recognize. The first pillar requires shifting your focus from objective facts to specific observations. You start by abandoning a basic list of dimensions or materials. Instead, you isolate the dominant impression, the specific atmosphere or vibe the object radiates. Take Deanna Davis's essay, Generations of Polish, and the antique dressing table passed down through her family. She avoids a generic catalog of furniture. She focuses exclusively on the scarred and worn surface of the wood to show the passage of time across 3 generations of women. These subjective physical details are what allow the reader to visualize the table as a witness to history, rather than just a piece of wood. The second pillar involves activating the object by placing it inside a story. Daniel Maratha's Grand Old Piano uses a chronological structure. He tracks the piano from the day it arrived in his home to its current status as his primary emotional outlet. A more complex approach is the time weaver structure used in Deborah Carroll's Seasoning a Bond. This diagram shows 2 separate narrative tracks. The top is the present day. The bottom is a childhood memory. The essay uses the mundane action of stirring meat in a cast iron skillet to connect a point on the top timeline directly to the bottom. Because the physical action is identical in both eras, it blurs the lines between the timelines. The skillet becomes a bridge that allows the story to exist in 2 worlds at once. The object gains power when it stops being a prop and becomes the central vehicle for a memory. The third pillar is about dictating the flow of information and using an authentic voice. Ruben Ramos uses a dramatic flashback structure in his essay Just Like Papi Guerro. He begins at the very end of the chronology, at a funeral, wiping a tear from the glass of a casket. Once the emotional stakes are established, he flashes back to memories of his grandfather patrolling with a machete. Ramos also chooses to weave untranslated Spanish directly into the text to preserve the genuine sound of his grandfather's voice. Leaving this language untranslated forces the reader to step into the writer's world. It prioritizes the truth of the memory over the convenience of the audience. These structural choices and the use of natural language are the mechanics that allow a stranger to understand the specific weight of a personal memory. Every Emblem essay must eventually answer the so what question, the final significance of the object. Without an explicit interpretation of the story, your writing remains a list of anecdotes. You have to explain what the evidence proves. In the case studies, the skillet isn't just a kitchen tool. It is the physical evidence of a mother seasoning a bond with her daughter. The walking stick isn't just a piece of wood. It is the symbol of a grandfather's protection and the safety he provided. The Emblem essay is a way to document how these objects map the specific relationships and times that define us. The materials at kelli.ninja help you move past a basic description to find the story hidden in plain sight.